I learned after using the Google Pixel 7a after 6 days that the back is actually made out of plastic. It looks like a Google Pixel 7, it feels like a Google Pixel 7, but it is slightly different from the Google Pixel 7. I have used the Google Pixel 7 in the past, and on the surface, they look and feel almost identical. So I've always assumed that the back was made out of glass, but it is not. It is actually plastic that is super prone to fingerprints. I guess you can look at it in both ways. Glass is more expensive and premium, but it will shatter. Plastic is cheaper but more durable. But regardless, if you put a plastic case in your phone, I don't think it should matter either way. Me personally, I prefer to use my phones without cases. And for some reason, I actually dropped the Google Pixel 7a 3 times already. One time in the shopping cart, another time off my tripod. And third time, it just fell off my desk. Normally, I never really drop my phone, but I think this one is cursed. Who knows, I feel like every 10 years, I get bad luck with a certain phone. The last phone that I kept dropping on multiple instances that eventually cracked was the Galaxy S8. But other than that, I have a pretty good track record. Google Pixel 7a feels great in the hand. It has good weight and a premium feel despite the back being made of plastic. And unlike the Galaxy A54, which looks exactly like the Galaxy S23, it actually feels much cheaper and lighter when you hold it in the hand. And you can definitely tell it is made of plastic and a lower quality phone, just in terms of build quality. But I'm glad that Google did a good job of making the Pixel 7a feels almost identical to the Pixel 7 while costing $100 less. Google Pixel 7a is only equipped with IP67 compared to the IP68 on the Google Pixel 7. I don't think it's that big of a deal as long as you're not swimming in the pool every day or doing any crazy water sport. If you're just showering, brushing your teeth, a little splash of water here and there will be fine. So I think it is a fair trade-off. Unless you really want to be diving in the pool for 30 minutes under 5 meters or whatever the standard is. If you don't do that every day, you will be fine with the IP67 rating. The camera bar is a little bit thinner this year. It is still a dust magnet in the back though, and I think it is a turbo design. Maybe it's just the black color as well. I would have went for blue or a lighter shade, but this was the only one available to me when I ordered it on the first day. Stay away from the black color if you are not a fan of the dust on your camera bar. The camera bar does reach all the way from one end to the other, so one of the benefits of that is when you're using it on a table, it does not rock back and forth compared to the Galaxy S23 since the camera models all aligned on one end. If I'm just tapping my phone on the table, sometimes the phone just shakes. Gets a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. But once again, if you use phone cases, for the most part, they do a good job of balancing out the phone. So that's all I have for you just in terms of design and build quality of the Google Pixel 7a. I did want to do a deep dive on that. Now let's jump into day 6. Woke up at 6:30 a.m. At 10 o'clock, my phone is at 75%. Came across an article how the 7a had one unique feature that the Google Pixel 6 Pro does not have, and it is the photo unblur. Kind of surprising. I guess the Tensor G2 chip is more powerful than the G1, so the G1 is not able to do that. All this time I thought it can be added with just a simple software update. Samsung have had photo unblur for a while as well, their own version of it, but surprisingly enough is not available on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Me personally, I used the photo unblur once just because I had one picture in mind when I went to a bachelor party. We only took one picture, that was the only blurry one that we had. Other than that, I don't find myself using it that often. Sometimes I scroll back 20 years ago to see if I had any blurry pictures that I can fix, but it's not something that I use that often or at all. And then read another article about how on the Android side of the house, we do have nearby share. I guess it is equivalent to the airdrop function that Apple users are always talking about. I think it's a good idea in theory, but I never find there to be a use for it. If I need to send my friend a photo or video, I'll just send it through Google Photos if they're near me. But the functionality is there if you want. You can do nearby share to your computer or to other devices. Just takes a few steps and taps to make it work. Go on a diet, so for lunch we got some chicken and salad. Not very impressed with the photo qualities on this phone, or it could just be me. But with the bigger sensor this year, I'm seeing similar issues like the Galaxy S23. Anytime I snap a photo, some areas are more focused than other, like the bottom right hand corner and then the top left along with the chicken, it looks a little blurry. By 1 o'clock, my phone is at 51%. Read another article about a unique feature on the Google Pixel 7a that I wasn't aware about. You have to go in and turn it on. It is under adaptive alert vibration. I assume Google is going to push this out to the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro at some point, but it's nice to see that the Pixel 7a do have some features that the other bigger brothers do not have, and I think it is actually something useful. So I think the idea behind this, if the phone is laying down and the screen is facing up, not being used, if I go to bed, I just plug in my phone and forget to turn off all the do not disturb and silent it before going to bed, it would reduce the vibration strength. And I find it to be pretty helpful. It happened to be many times where I get woken up in the middle of the night because I forget to silent my phone. But now Google is able to detect that automatically and reduce the vibration. In theory, it should help me sleep through the night. Another busy Tuesday for me at work. So by 4:47 p.m., my phone is at 20%. Use the camera roughly 20 minutes today. I used Google Recorder during my meetings so that I can take all my notes. Got YouTube playing for 3 hours. Did some Amazon shopping. Google Photos taking up 48 minutes. I assume it is uploading all my content in the background. So phone been idle for about 9 hours. Screen on time 2 hours, just because it's a busy day of work and I'm not using my phone a lot. I usually like to take my battery measurement at 15%, but I noticed at 20% is where I get the battery saver notification, so I just took it a little bit earlier today. But either way, battery looks like it's still averaging anywhere from 10 to 11 hours. I'm using a lot of Google Recording, shooting videos throughout the day. And what they're gonna find that is pretty cool is when you drag your notification panel down, on the top right hand corner you will see that it will give you an estimate of how long your battery life is gonna last. So right now it is roughly 5 p.m. It will last me till 7 p.m. So roughly 10% drop an hour. And that kind of threw me off a few times because you look on the left hand side, the time is 4:47, but on the right hand side it shows you how long the battery is going to last. Something pretty minor, but there were a few times where I just glanced at the clock on the top right and then I thought that was the actual time. But that's something I'll probably adapt to, and I think it's a pretty cool feature just so you can estimate when the battery is going to die. And if you need to head out for the evening, just make sure to charge it ahead of time. Okay, this wraps up day 6 in the life of the Google Pixel 7a. Remember to like and subscribe. Please check out day 5 if you're interested in learning about the software on the Google Pixel 7a.